It was about 4 p.m. local time on August 20, 2025, when smoke and alarm bells shattered the routine calm of Okinawa's White Beach anchorage. A fire had erupted aboard USS New Orleans LPD-18, and for nearly 12 long hours, sailors, nearby ships, and Japanese agencies scrambled to contain it. 2 sailors would emerge slightly injured. The drama unfolding off Okinawa would test ship resilience, alliances, and operational trust. The amphibious transport dock USS New Orleans, a San Antonio-class vessel, was anchored near White Beach Naval Facility in Okinawa when the blaze began. The fire started roughly 4 p.m. local time on August 20, and it was declared extinguished at about 4 a.m. on August 21. 2 sailors were treated aboard for minor injuries and later returned to duty. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The ship's crew stayed on board during and after the firefighting, and the vessel later steamed under its own power back to port. From news updates, we know that the ship's firefighting efforts were aided by the crew of USS San Diego, LPD-22, which was moored nearby at White Beach. Japanese units also joined the response. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, Coast Guard, and U.S. Navy commands from Okinawa offered critical support. According to Operation 7th Fleet, damage appears limited to the forward sections of the ship. Some decks in the bow area may have been affected, but a full damage assessment is ongoing. In an update on August 22nd, the Navy announced that New Orleans returned under its own propulsion to White Beach, Okinawa. The ship continued to offer galley food and berthing sleeping services so that its nearly 380 sailors could remain aboard. Several sailors had been treated for minor injuries and were back to full duty, the update said. The Navy termed the damage as limited to the forward area, and assessors were already aboard inspecting the impact. In later movements, the ship departed Okinawa for Sasebo Naval Base for further evaluation and repairs on August 28. The fire reportedly lasted about 12 hours, which ranks it among serious incidents, but not on the scale of past catastrophic ship fires. Still, even in this mid-level incident, the stakes are high. Amphibious transport docks carry marines, equipment, landing craft, and aircraft such as helicopters or MV-22 Ospreys, making them key nodes in expeditionary warfare logistics. The fact that a fire occurred while anchored, not in combat or transit, raises questions about maintenance, system safety, and emergency preparedness. The response coordination here is notable. US and Japanese forces have drilled disaster response and alliance cooperation many times, and that readiness likely helped contain the blaze. U.S. Ambassador to Japan George Glass praised the joint effort, saying, "The rapid, coordinated, and courageous response shows, once again, why the U.S.-Japan alliance is second to none." The episode thus becomes more than a shipboard accident. It is a test of alliance resilience and interoperability. Regionally, this incident adds a wrinkle to already tense maritime dynamics in East Asia. When a U.S. warship suffers damage, even in non-combat conditions, it may invite speculation or probing by rivals about U.S. vulnerability or readiness. In proximity to contested sea lanes around Taiwan, the East China Sea, and the wider Indo-Pacific, any sign of weakness in forward-deployed assets can be magnified. Globally, this event reinforces that naval risk is not limited to missile strikes or combat engagements. Fires, collisions, mechanical failures all remain latent threats, especially for complex ships. The U.S. Navy must manage those risks amid a high operational tempo. Also, the rapid Japanese support underscores how critical local partnerships are for U.S. forward presence. Ships in distant waters rely heavily on allies for emergency support and harbor services. This fire is also part of a pattern. In recent years, the U.S. Navy has faced high-profile shipboard incidents under non-combat conditions, from engine room fires to collisions in port or at sea. Such events stress the dual burden of projecting power while maintaining safety, training, and material readiness. The contrast is starker when compared to the 2020 fire aboard USS Bonham Richard, which burned for days and led to its decommissioning. In that light, New Orleans' crew and support elements deserve credit for preventing a worst-case scenario. In closing, the fire aboard USS New Orleans off Okinawa was more than a headline. It was a reminder that naval operations remain dangerous, even in calm waters. 2 sailors were lightly injured, the ship's forward area sustained damage, but the crew and allied forces held the line. The US-Japan alliance responded effectively, and the ship remains afloat and operational. If you want clear, timely breakdowns of naval incidents and what they mean for US power and alliances, Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment about what you think this event means for naval safety in contested waters.